What makes a house a home? We asked the people of Scotland to enter their houses into Scotland's Home of the Year. Now, our judges are visiting the top 3 from each region, choosing one each episode to go through to our national final. Scoring them on architectural merit, distinctive design, and original style are architect Danny Campbell,
What I'm looking for in a home is life, a livable space framed by the energy and passion of the owners.
Mull-based interior designer Banjo Beale,
It's that combination of the best bits of your past, parts of your present, and most importantly, room to grow.
and interior designer Anna Campbell-Jones.
It should be inspirational, atmospheric, and accessible, but have that most important ingredient, love.
Yes.
I love it when a home matches my lipstick.
I'm in heaven.
In the end, only one can be Scotland's Home of the Year. Today, our judges are visiting the shortlist in the East. Starting with a bungalow conversion in Anstruther in the East Neuk of Fife. Coastal View is home to Suzanne and David, who, after relocating from London in 2021, set about modernising their home.
We clearly needed an architect, but we were really clear that we wanted to maintain it still as a 60s bungalow. We didn't want to create something totally new that didn't fit in its environment.
So we transformed it by opening up the space, extend into the garage area. Originally wanted a balcony, but after being up here for 6 months, we realised just too windy, too cold. So we decided to extend the bedroom so it was longer and bigger, which made sense.
The biggest thing for us was capturing the view and have as much light as possible in the house. We both love open plan living, but we've got all of these huge paintings that we've collected over the years. And so our part of the design was, well, that wall's going to have to be bigger or that wall's going to have to be bigger.
The ground floor includes an open plan kitchen, living and dining space, a bedroom and a bathroom. Upstairs, there's a study cum yoga space, a shower room and a bedroom.
This is my favourite place in my home because sitting up in bed, looking out at the Isle of May, watching the weather is my perfect start to the day, and often sometimes in the middle of the day too.
Armed with only the basic facts about the property and its owners, the judges will now get their first glimpse of Coastal View.
Oh, it's a symphony in grey, isn't it? The light grey, we've got the grey gravel, we've got this really kind of impressive overhang at the front.
That's 50 Shades of Grey.
But you know what? It does need that timber inset. That does bring a really nice warmth to it.
I think it's really clever as well to have the driveway open up to the house too. It kind of, you're not losing as much space. It kind of adds some architecture to the front yard in a really simple, kind of cheap way.
All the lines are lining up perfectly. That dormer lines up with the front doorway. That first part of the decking lines up with the overhang. I'm really enjoying this so far.
So shall we see if the pleasing symmetry continues inside?
Let's do it.
Look at the artwork in here.
Shh, I feel like we're in a gallery.
It's the gallery lighting, isn't it? That's what's giving off
That's
the gallery vibes.
And the art, wow.
Yeah, it's setting up expectations, isn't it? The moment you arrive.
Artful tiles peeking through there, a bar.
Right, should we coast on through here?
Oh my goodness.
Holy mackerel.
This is absolutely incredible.
There's so much to take in here that's going well.
You're tongue-tied. I
So
think you
happy.
like it. I love the timber detailing on the ceiling there. Mirrors the front, and it kind of feels like we're outside, doesn't it?
And I do like to see people using a bit of colour in their kitchen. The blue worktop with the orange units is absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, wow, what is that?
Well, that's like a composite, isn't it? But it's laminated onto birch ply, so you've got that lovely kind of sandwichy edge.
I love a sandwich in a kitchen.
It's all about that view, isn't it? That full wall of curtain glazing. It's just bringing that view right into the space. I like the exposed steel beams as well. They're zoning different areas, and they've used that as a very clever way to change materiality from the ceiling with the gallery lighting into that timber.
Lovely.
I love the white wood burner.
Ooh, what a nice little nook.
Come on, Anna.
Squeeze in between you fellas. Oh my goodness.
Should we listen to a CD?
And we've got some more beautiful pieces of art placed so carefully and obviously individually lit with more of this track lighting. Such a considered home.
Being at this height really emphasises that floor-to-ceiling glass, and it brings in that huge expanse of sky.
I'm a little bit confused about the intention of this space because the wood burner is facing that way and there's really only like a couple of little places where you can sit and enjoy that. Sort of that area where the glazing is, I feel like it's underused.
Hole in one. Wow. Oh, she is.
Oh.
Heart. I mean, the heart should always be in the bedroom.
They've really played with the heights as well, so you're down at kind of bed level. You're just getting the top of those planters. It's so easy when you've got a parapet roof just to leave it as the flat, ugly membrane. That's really nice.
And I like the way they've pushed the bed forward to create storage behind.
And you don't have that waking up, hitting your head on the pitch of the roof. I mean, you got to think about that too, don't you?
I think that's the benefit of having the dormer. You get all that extra floor space that the bed can actually come forward enough so you get that nice ergonomic space to get out of bed.
I'm getting ship vibes.
I'm getting ship vibes. Maybe it's the big trunk. Well, sun's out. Let's
Sun's
get
out,
these guns out. Ooh, it's good to be able to see how it all joins together, isn't it?
They've gone full width for the whole site, haven't they?
Doesn't look like a bungalow this side, does it, though?
No, not at all.
And this extension, it creates the perfect spot to really discreetly locate your solar panels.
4. That's not my score.
Very good.
What will Anna, Banjo, and Danny make of Coastal View? One judge's score will be held back until they've seen all 3 homes, when their combined scores will be revealed.
What I particularly like about this artfully created home is that it creates a blank canvas for the homeowner's possessions, and it's something that's going to evolve continuously. A lot of really bold moves have been made with this home, especially the kitchen. I'm going to give this home a 10.
So if you're looking for an example of how to expertly modify your home, this is it. And it's all in the detail. The homeowners have celebrated the changes they've made by zoning the spaces with the exposed structure. And they've kept a really simple material palette which celebrates their art collection and the amazing coastal setting. I'm going to give this home a 10.
I love this little bungalow. I think they have done a superb job just flipping the script, reinventing what it is, and they've filled it full of art and heart, and all leading out to the most magnificent view. But it's kind of what's on the inside that counts. I love all the little spaces that come together perfectly, and it's a little bit unexpected.
Next, we're off to Edinburgh to visit a first-floor tenement flat in Stockbridge. For the past 3.5 years, Wee City Nook has been home to Devon and Max, who's a joiner. And his skills certainly haven't gone to waste.
Every weekend, every evening, for 90 days straight, I didn't have a single day off. So yeah, loads of stress. I just wanted to do a nice job. We've changed pretty much everything.
The radiators, the floors, the paneling in the bedroom as well, the bathroom. Max's dad came up actually for a week. Yeah, I went to Golden State Mums for that time whilst Max and his dad sussed that one out. I think our natural go-to is quite bold and bright and colourful. And I think because it was always going to be quite a small place that we were going to buy because it's our first home, we had to make sure that we could make the best use of the space that we had. Max has literally built some of those cubbies for pieces of artwork that we already had, didn't you? Yeah, just making space for the stuff that we've gathered over the years.
Their cosy flat contains a bedroom, a bathroom, a box room cum guest bedroom, and a combined kitchen and living space.
This is our favourite part of the home. I work from this spot. When I clock off, I come here and I'll cook, and that's my way of winding down for the day. And then when we are hosting, I'll be here, guests will be there, there'll be a wee candle on, and it's just nice to share this part of the home.
What will the judges think of Wee City Nuke?
Looks like we're going to get some tenement joy.
But will it be a 10 out of tenement?
Oh, see what you did
All right,
there.
there's no topping that. I wonder which floor we're on. I mean, upstairs you might have a really nice view, lots of light. Downstairs could be tucked out the back.
That's the thing about tenements, isn't it? Whatever level you're on, it has a completely different atmosphere.
Well, should we see how many stairs we're climbing?
Let's do it.
Ooh.
It's cutesy, isn't it? And cutesy. Lots of fun little bits.
This is a fun use of space, isn't it?
Well, the angles are really unexpected. It's not a kind of archetypal tenement rectilinear plan.
Well, this home is working its angles, isn't it? It's drawing you around.
Oh, I love these skateboards. Well, that's a great place to store them, but then it makes them into a piece of art.
Storage is an art. You've got to get it right in a tiny house.
It's nice that we're getting all these little bits of light coming through these high-level windows as well. A little peek into what those rooms are going to be used for.
But I love the floors still drawing us in.
Yeah, it's drawing me that way.
Let's
Come on,
go.
then. Here's the heart.
Oh, lovely.
That's like a whole cinema room on one half, and then a proper, fully functioning kitchen on the other.
I think this is the most compact you can get kitchen, living, dining, open plan space. But there's storage absolutely everywhere. Every little nook and cranny has got some useful space going on. Pushing that sink right up into that window uses that depth of space. I think that's what affords us the space here for the breakfast bar.
Yeah, that looks like a kind of homemade bench top too. Like maybe a bit of wood with some kind of scrim over the top. That's like a cheap version of a really high-end bench top. That works. They've got the lighting right in here too. You're lighting up all of your niches there. I think that creates some atmosphere that helps really accentuate different areas and draw the eye to them.
Yeah, I mean, this is clearly a bespoke piece of joinery on that wall. Each niche looks like it's been made to suit the objects that are in them. Oh, I love...
Oh, I'll take a pew here.
Look at this. That's so extra, that bedspread. What I like is that although it's not an enormous room, they haven't been scared to play with scale. We've got like really big, generous artworks, that huge lamp. Yeah, I feel a bit like, am I the right size for this space? Am I too small or too big?
Their bedside pendants are bigger than your head. Look at that. With the mirrors, I think that's really clever, playing with
Yes.
scale and put a big mirror behind a big pendant and suddenly the room feels big.
The paneling changes the tone in here as well. It's ever so slightly more formal.
It's very calm still, isn't it? And beautiful with the sun streaming in.
Yeah.
It's a very pleasant room. Ooh. Rub-a-dub. Well, just a shower.
Oh,
This is wee, isn't it?
Yeah. There's so many different shelving points in here. Loads of places for nice bottles of liquids.
well, it makes sense to not bother trying to fit a bath into a tenement bathroom because they're often so narrow. You can create instead a really generous wet area like this.
Yeah, you've got a rainforest shower, you've got a rainforest of plants dangling on your head. It draws the height up, doesn't it? Feels really generous still for a small space.
Ooh, look at this little internal room.
You're the right size for this room, Anna.
Oh, bonjour.
It's like a little cabin in here. It's really cosy. A little place to escape, shut away, read a book, have a little nap.
Yes, a napping room, a yapping room if you're on the phone. It's a nice little breakout space in a house that doesn't have many breakout spaces.
A lot of people would use a space like this just for storage, but to be able to winkle the storage away in other parts of the apartment, to release this as a usable space is really clever.
How will the judges score Wee City Nook?
It's a tiny tenement, but it packs a whole lot of punch. They have popped storage everywhere, so it's working really hard for them. It's small but mighty. There's a whole lot of fun art in here as well. It feels bright and young and fresh. I'm giving this home a 10.
This home really manages to make more out of less. On a tight footprint, you need to be so clever about your circulation space and making sure you've got adequate storage. The bespoke storage solutions are really consistent and deliberate, and it gives a nice harmony between all the different rooms, but also a huge amount of functionality. I'm going to give this home a 10.
This home is an ingenious example of what you can do with a lot of imagination and fantastic construction skill. Each room in this home has been given a distinct personality, but all the spaces are interlinked with the same floor finish and paint colours, which gives the impression of greater space throughout.
Sticking in Edinburgh, the final home in the east is a townhouse basement renovation in Newtown. Georgian Garden Apartment is home to Rebecca and her husband Derek. They've been in the home since 2022 after a 2-year refurbishment.
We've knocked down a lot of walls in it. In this room, there are now 3 beams. There used to be 3 walls. We reconfigured upstairs, redid the whole garden as well, did stonework at the front, redid the courtyard. So we really basically took it right back to brick. I wanted it not fussy, quite comfortable, understated, nothing glitzy. I think the study is a wow factor, and this space down here works just so well when we've got friends round. It's brilliant.
Spread over 2 floors, entry is at basement level, where there is a study, sitting room, WC, and 2 bedrooms, including one with dressing room and ensuite. On the lower basement floor is a wine cellar, shower room, and an open-plan kitchen, dining and living space which connects to the rear garden.
So the reason this is my favourite place in the home is that I can sit there, I can see my garden, and it's where we sit and chat with a cup of coffee, a glass of wine, and make all our plans.
Time for the judges to get their first view of the Georgian Garden Apartment.
Well, this is a magnificent piece of Georgian architecture.
Well, that's where the servants' quarters used to be, so I'm not sure how we feel about that. Is it going to be a bit pokey?
Probably I belong there. You two are from the top end of town.
But it's lovely, isn't it, to have a little courtyard and planting in such a city centre location?
All right, let's go check her out. Ooh.
Oh, look at this.
La la. How nice not to be smashed in the face with a big wall. They've smashed the wall and put that crystal glass in. Just opens up the space, doesn't it?
I think that was probably the only way they could get natural light into that room was by having that glazed partition.
Yeah. This isn't the servants' quarters anymore, I suspect.
No.
No. Let's see if it gets any posher, shall we?
Okay.
Oh, squeeze in, Anna.
Okay. Ooh, this is really comfy, isn't it?
I love this wall, the seagrass, but in the dark blue. Almost looks like tweed, doesn't it?
I'm always talking about the power of paint, but if you add paint and a texture, you can create this really upholstered feel.
It's very dark, though, with the dark flooring and the dark walls. It definitely has an evening feel in here.
Yeah, it's dark, but they've got all these golden accents and the uplighting, which is helping to kind of illuminate the space. Looks like magnifying glasses on that light there, just to throw even more light.
Switch it on, Banjo.
Okay. Ooh, disco. Don't ask me to switch on lights. Ooh. Wow, look at that view out onto Dean Village, the bridge. That's pretty magic. I don't know how I feel about a bath on an angle, though. I'm sure the Georgians wouldn't like that either.
Well, where else could you put that bath? It's such a small space. That's probably the only way they could fit it in.
They've not been able to get a full-length bath in here, but they've put in a really tall one. I think I'd feel a bit claustrophobic in there. I'm going to try it out. See you later, guys.
So you're practically swimming in there.
There's room for two.
Okay, move over. Oh,
that's really fun.
Denny's left out.
Rub-a-dub-dub.
Come on, Danny.
You can shave our backs. Wow.
They really like their textured wall coverings, don't they?
It's kind of pearlescent, isn't it? Got a silver shimmer to it. It's giving opulence. I mean, it's not screaming it, it's whispering opulence.
It's screaming it to me with this great big pendant hanging down right above the bed.
I think it's really interesting that we came in through a dark, sort of subterranean feeling space, and we've just taken a few steps, and now we're elevated, and we've got all this light coming in, and they've completely changed their approach to how the space is decorated to respond to that.
Yeah, it no longer feels like a basement flat. More texture.
What have we got in here? Oh, this is a room you can leave me in.
Ooh,
wow.
The heart of the home.
Wait, we've still not found the heart.
Ooh, let's get looking.
Oh, there it is.
Hearty.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
Found it eventually.
What an absolutely enormous space. I totally wasn't expecting to find this down here with this beautiful connection to the garden.
It's open plan, isn't it?
It's really brave to knock through walls this deep into such a tall stone building, and the size of that steel is evidence for it.
But they put the heart here.
Yeah.
So what's it all about, Danny?
Well, this is actually the perfect space where you can socialise, see people dining, see the cooking, and also connect to the outside.
That space is calling me, though.
Let's go and check it out,
Have a
mate.
look. I love that refractory table wrapped in the brass. It's really nice to see a bit of patina and some old things down here. It's not all new.
And from where I'm standing, I can also see the two walls that would have been either side of the corridor that led to the back garden from the main house.
There's a real energy in here. We've got angles, we've got doors, we've got the sash and case. So I'm not sure whether these big spider lights are actually necessary. They're maybe giving it a bit too much energy.
Those Georgian servants would have had a party down here.
How will the judges score the Georgian garden apartment?
This home really exploits the strengths and actually makes strengths out of the weaknesses that are potentially there with a basement conversion. Everything has been done absolutely to perfection. There's such a level of finesse in this home, I almost feel like there's no way for it to evolve any further. I'm going to give this home a 9.
This is a beautiful basement conversion in a gorgeous Georgian tree-lined street. When I walked in here, I felt like I was checking into the most beautiful hotel, but when I'm in a home, I want to feel more personal touches. It's pitch perfect, but I like my homes a bit rough around the edges. I'm giving this home a 9.
Whenever I wander through this part of Edinburgh, I always look at these gorgeous Georgian buildings and wonder what the internal spaces are like inside. I feel like the bravery to remove so many internal walls deep into an old stone building was a real success. Although I really hoped that the styling was going to shatter my preconceptions, but I felt they stuck a bit too close to the rule book on this one.
Now that the judges have seen all 3 homes, the final scores can be revealed. First, it was Coastal View in Anstruther.
I know you really liked it, Danny. You gave it a 10. I gave it a 10 as well. Banjo, did it bowl you over?
Oh, well, I mean, it was a hole-in-one, for starters. I think it was an artful reimagining of a bungalow. I think it's an example of what you can do with an architect, a gorgeous art collection, and a little bit of money and ingenuity. I gave it a 10.
Woo, starting with a bang with Coastal View gets 30.
Next, it was Wee City Nook in Stockbridge.
Banjo, you gave it a 10. And Danny, you gave it a 10 as well. I thought it was so ingenious. It created a unique home that was definitely expressing who those people were in a way that was sustainable and attainable. I gave it a 10 as well.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Got a drama.
Yeah.
And finally, the Georgian Garden Apartment in Edinburgh.
I gave it a 9. Banjo, you gave it a 9 as well. Danny?
Well, this is a beautiful Georgian home, and they were very brave with some of the architectural moves that they did. I wish they'd been a little bit braver with the styling, though. I gave it an 8.
Ooh. Well, that gives the Georgian Garden Apartment a very respectable 26. But we have to have a grown-up discussion because we've got a draw.
Can't we wrestle it out?
Come on, boys.
Well, I'm going Coastal View. It's been heavily extended, and often when a building gets extended, the details get lost with the big moves taking your brain space away. But there were so many clever details that were so well considered. And for that, I really appreciated it.
Like, it was almost painfully beautiful. The Wee City Nook, on the other hand, it had that real sense of being a homemade home. Every single decision followed the rules of those homeowners in a very personal way. You could feel how personal that home was, which is why I think the Wee City Nook should be our finalist for the East. So, Banjo, you've got the deciding vote.
What a powerful position to be in. You know what? I think that coastal bungalow was splendid. The views were amazing, and what they managed to achieve in a bungalow was fantastic. But I think that Wee City Nook, it got my heart, and what they created with a really tiny space and expressed their personality, it's gotta be the tiny tenement for me. That beats out the bungalow by a whisker. It's a small victory.
A small victory for the underdog if it's 2 against 1.
Both absolutely amazing properties, very clever in their own way. For me, Coastal View was the way I was leaning, but still an amazing finalist.
Wee City Nook wins in the East and is one step closer to becoming Scotland's Home of the Year. Next time,
Wow.
the judges are in Central and Tayside
Are we in Japan or Dundee?
as the search continues for Scotland's Home of the Year.